Hi, I'm Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a Steinway upright that was made in New York City in 1992. It is the model 1098, internally known as a 45, which reflects the approximate height of this piano. This actually came in two furniture styles. This is the institutional style, 1098. They also made the same exact inside of this piano in the Sheraton, which was a furniture style piano, which, as I see, has never been quite as popular, especially as tastes have changed in interior decoration in more recent decades to a more minimal, clean look. And, well, this piano has that. This case reminds me a lot of early 20th century Steinway uprights, like the Model K and the Model V. They had a very elegant, minimal, square design, very clean lines, but with nice, typically early 20th century American New York ornamentations, these nice little panels on the front here. This, as I understand it, in the history of Steinway, in the development of their upright piano line, this was scaled down when they were first coming up with the internal design for this piano. They basically took a Model V 50-inch upright and squished it into a smaller case, as smaller pianos were becoming more fashionable in the earlier, in the Depression era. And that's how they came up with this scale design. They've had different cases around it over the years. This case, the 1098 case, came in I think 1949 or 1950, and it became very popular, especially in institutional settings, because it's very rugged case design. It has casters that are, they roll very easily, so two people can grab either side of this piano and roll this piano safely between classrooms, for example, or practice rooms. That this piano was designed for that institutional setting. And also, I mean, it looks good in many people's homes, especially today, as I mentioned, tastes have changed toward a more minimal, elegant, clean look. This piano has that, with a nice touch of the early 20th century in it too. So I should explain how this case works. It's not quite like the average upright piano you see anymore. If you want to completely close the piano, well, you just saw what I'm about to do in reverse. This is the piano closed, and if you just open the key cover, you could just rest the key cover, the fall board, on the front panel here. There are rubber buttons, which look like we've just replaced, because they're nice and soft and new. It will rest against the front panel, so it won't scratch the wood on the panel. But that doesn't really give you a very good place to put sheet music, and Steinway thought of this. So what you can do on this is swing this front panel out. There's two elegant brass knobs here. By the way, there's the inside of the piano, all regulated. Then you can put the key cover, the fall board, all the way back. That allows it to be a bit more flat, and then this will rest just on top of that. So now you have a more flat music desk area that will hold books better. It also forms roughly a 90-degree angle here with the front panel here, so it's, again, that secures the sheet music better. Plus, my favorite thing about it is that it's a nice flat area that you can put a lot of different sheet music, especially different pieces of paper all laid out in a row. You still want to turn pages. And you can make notes on your sheet music if you want. Definitely a more, in my opinion, functional upright piano case design than so much of what we normally see in upright pianos. Very thoughtfully designed, and especially for institutional use in mind, for teachers who either make notes on their students' sheet music or have their students write notes on their sheet music as they're going through the lesson. It's all spread out here. It's a nice flat surface. Nothing flops around like it might on a more conventional upright piano fall board. So really good design, I think. Plus, when you have it configured this way, this front panel, it does lean a bit slightly out, and that means there are exposed sound vents on either side of it that allow more of the sound from inside the piano to escape. So a nice extra convenient feature there. Now, this piano does have something that is not common in upright pianos, and so if you've been waiting for it, I would encourage you to consider this piano sooner rather than later. This has a sostenuto pedal, which, as I said, most uprights don't have. It's more of a feature on premium upright pianos, and not even many Steinway upright pianos that we get in here have 3 pedals. If they don't have a sostenuto, they just have 2 pedals, and that's a lot of the older Steinway uprights are that way. And I think in the early part of the 20th century it was like a special order add-on that you had to pay extra for. But it seems to have become standard on these more recently made Steinway uprights. This is 1992, and this piano has it, and most fortunately it is a full sostenuto. It works on all dampers that the piano has. Sometimes when we see these Steinway uprights from the 70s that happen to have this sostenuto, it doesn't work on all dampers because it wasn't designed to. It was only a partial sostenuto that went up to maybe there. So quite fortunately, this behaves just like it would on a Steinway grand. You can press down notes, and while depressing those notes, use your left foot normally to depress the middle pedal. Only those notes will sound, and it works. I'll show it up here too. So it works on all the dampers. As I said, only premium upright pianos have those. Steinway uprights sometimes have them. A handful of Yamaha uprights we've gotten here, all full size, have them. The occasional U3, like a U7, UX5, all difficult to find pianos. And then the occasional European upright piano, and then the Mason & Hamlin Model 50. There's just not many upright pianos around that have a sostenuto, and for those who just don't have the space for a grand but need that grand piano feature, I would strongly encourage you to consider this piano sooner rather than later. We often get requests for upright pianos with sostenuto pedals, and we very often don't have any because they're not very easy to find. So here's your chance to come try one out for yourself. It's a quite lovely musical instrument, I'll add. It has the typically warm, mellow, creamy sound that you would expect, especially from a Steinway of this time period, in my opinion. 80s Steinways to the present tend to have more of that mellow, creamy sound emphasized than was evident on previous Steinways. So I'll accordingly rate the tone of this piano a 4 on a scale from 1 to 10, from mellow to bright. 5 would be neutral, 6 is on the bright side. This one's distinctly on the mellow side. And the good thing about this piano, despite being only about 46 inches tall, it has a very big sounding deep bass. Certainly outdoes a lot of other uprights in the same size. I know that's one thing that has endeared many people over the years to this exact model. It always has a very deep sound. So, very powerful sound if you want to bring it out of the piano, but otherwise it's a pretty gentle, mellow, warm sound. The touch on the firm side, more than the average amount of resistance in the keys, and in my opinion that would be, again, consistent with Steinway pianos of this time period. Since the 80s, in the experience as a piano technician working on these pianos, I have noticed that Steinway pianos tend to have a bit more of a firm touch. Before the 1980s, it wasn't as consistently firm. Oftentimes they would have a light touch, but for those who prefer the firm touch, the newer Steinways cater to that taste. Pianists today seem to prefer it more. And if you are a student who has to play at a piano lesson or in a recital at a school that has all Steinway products, including the Bostons, 2 made by Kawai, designed by Steinway, those are also firm touch pianos in my opinion, along with the late model Steinways. Chances are that they're all going to be pianos that have a relatively firm touch, and if you have to be able to be prepared as a student to play on those pianos, I strongly recommend a similar playing piano for you to practice on at home. This piano certainly has that, and I'll rate the touch a 6 on the scale from 1 to 10. Definitely on the firm side. It allows a bit more control over soft playing. So 4 and 6 for the tone and touch. I mentioned the soft nudo. As a courtesy to those who buy premium upright pianos from us, we will be including an adjustable bench with knobs on the side that you can use to adjust the seat up and down. It's a nice plush sheet too. And of course, like everything else we sell, this piano has a 10-year warranty on all parts and labor, 10-year warranty, all parts and labor, and 100% lifetime trade-up guarantee. Just so long as you make sure you have it in tune twice a year, you can end up have it in a situation of moderate and stable humidity. You can trade up whenever you wish to another piano of a higher price and get exactly the instrument sales price in trade for this piano for another piano. Not that you would find very many upright pianos in our inventory that are going to be substantially nicer than this piano. Oftentimes we sell these Steinway uprights to people who want their first Steinway and aren't quite ready for a grand piano, so it's kind of a stepping stone to a Steinway grand in our inventory one day. You could certainly do that with this piano if you wish, but otherwise, rest assured, as long as you take good care of this piano, you can expect a long life ahead of it. Steinways are made with some of the finest materials that you can find in pianos today, and that was certainly the case when this piano was made too. We as technicians see that the hardwoods they chose are very hard, very sturdy, very solidly built piano. It's quite heavy for its size, and as long as you keep it in tune twice a year and in a moderate stable humidity situation, you should be able to expect many decades left of musical enjoyment out of this piano. You can trade in if you want, but if you only have room for an upright, and especially if you need that soft nudo functionality of a grand, this would be a piano that you can be set with for a long time. So definitely stop by, try it out for yourself. I think you'll be quite pleased. If you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email, but we do hope to see you if you can.